Hey everyone, how's it going? I hope you were able to get your Sonic secret lairs, and I just want to talk about the experience this time, how it's differed from those in the past. Now, first, the Sonic secret lair is obviously not Final Fantasy, so we don't have the same level of demand as we did for Final Fantasy. Nevertheless, it is still really popular as it's a very popular IP, and this is unique mechanics in this new set. So we obviously had a long line. Now I'm gonna show you right here. This is currently 2:45 p.m. Pacific time, so it's 5:45 Eastern time in the United States, and this thing went live at 9 a.m. Pacific 9 a.m. Pacific time. So it's been about 5 hours 45 minutes, and the things that sold out first were the bundles. So all the bundles sold out. They didn't really give too much of a discount this time for the bundles. I think the only bundle that had an actual discount was the Sonic 100% complete bundle, and it's not that much of a discount. So this, I think the discount was, I think it was like $5 or $10. I think it was $5. It was so low that maybe you got $1 off each set, or even less. So really no discount here, but it sold out first. All the bundles sold out first, but what surprised me the most is that one of the least valuable in terms of the card value, reprint value, that printings of the secret lair, which was the Chasing Adventure, that sold out first. And this one contains the soul ring and the treasure token. So obviously, yes, soul ring and the treasure token. The soul ring looks really nice, and the treasure token it's the iconic Sonic rings that he collects, so it's the flavor is really there. And you probably are going to need multiple of these, because it just wouldn't really make sense to just have one ring treasure token if you're going to be making a Sonic themed deck and you got to collect these rings, right? So this sold out first. And I was just thinking about this and also comparing it to the Final Fantasy Secret Lair. And if you remember, in the Final Fantasy Secret Lair, the Game Over one sold out first. And that one also had the least value in terms of the reprints. I can't remember all the cards off the top of my head, but it was the one that had, I think it had Blasphemous Act. It had Day of Judgment. It was like the board wipe cards, right? Toxic Deluge, those cards. But that sold out first as well. And if you look on the secondary market, I think that one is going for the highest, even though the value of the cards in the lair is not the highest, and it probably does not have the most demand. But what that goes to show is that Wizards of the Coast, they likely anticipate how much demand that their secret lairs are going to get. And so in the Final Fantasy case, the Grimoire Final Fantasy Secret Lair, which is the one with the Cyclonic Rift and also the Heroic Intervention, that one sold out last, even though it had the most value. I think it had the most value, or it was just the most popular. And so, I think the reason why that one sold out last and the Game Over one sold out first was just because they didn't print as much of the Game Over one. And so even though they didn't print as much, it still had a really, really high demand. And so it sold out first, and because of the laws of supply and demand and microeconomics, that's why that secret lair, at least for now, is one of the higher price secret lairs. So similarly here in Sonic, I think we're seeing the same thing. I think they anticipated, and rightfully so, that the highest demand would go to the friends and foes. And if you look at it, even 5 hours, almost 6 hours in, that secret lair has not sold out. It's not even low stock. Wow, why are they showing me all this? Okay, where are we? Okay, friends and foes, right? That's not even low stock, right? We even see the turbo gear in low stock, and probably for the same reason is that they probably didn't print as much of the turbo gear. They probably printed a little bit more of that than it's a combination of things. They probably printed a little bit more of that than the adventure one with the soul ring, and also this one probably doesn't have as much demand as the one with the soul ring. So what's interesting is, prior to the Sonic Secret Lair being released, and even with the Final Fantasy one, I was thinking And maybe some of you might have been thinking the same thing. It's like, wow, this secret lair has such great value. These cards are amazing. This one, from a like an investor or collector perspective, like this one's gonna go up the most in value. And that might be true in the longer term, like the very long term. But I think in the short term, because of the fact that they anticipated the high demand for the most popular secret lairs, they printed a lot more of those. And as you can see, that they're not selling out yet. And they they don't have that much time or resources to allocate to printing everything forever. So they've probably foregone printing more of the adventure, the one with the soul ring. And similarly in the Final Fantasy, they printed fewer of the game over one. Because I certainly don't think that the demand for the game over one surpassed the Grimoire in Final Fantasy, and I don't think the demand for the Soul Ring Secret Lair surpasses this Friend and Foes one, but it's really a supply issue we have here. So anyway, and because of this, I think that the Friends and Foes Secret Lair, the increase or the growth of the value of this is gonna take a lot longer. It's gonna hover around this price, maybe just a little bit more for quite some time. And the one with the Soul Ring, which the foil version went for 40 and non-foil went for 30. I think we're gonna be seeing that foil one be in the 60s, 70s very soon, and the non-foil one. Now I think I'm not sure, but the non-foil one might be available at LGS's or WPN stores, and if that's the case, then the non-foil ones will probably take a little bit longer to rise in value, and we'll have another opportunity to purchase more of those if you want, or if you miss them at like a more reasonable price. But I do expect over the long term for the non-foil one to rise and catch up to the foil one like they usually do. So just something I saw and I thought that was interesting. Overall, the experience, I mean, it took me 2 hours to get through the line, but I did get through, and nothing was sold out at the time. I think the bundles started to sell out maybe about 3.5 hours in. And so the fact that they limited this to 2 per person or per account, it seemed to really have helped. That coupled with probably maybe they printed a little bit more, who knows, but also a little bit less demand than the Final Fantasy one, that's for sure. And so all that combined, I think this is good. I like the fact that they're doing the 2 now instead of the 5. Yes, I think the wait could be a little longer because maybe some people out there are trying to get dozens and dozens of these, and they'll need multiple accounts, and so there might be more accounts in line in the queue, which could cause the longer waits. But I feel like as long as there's still stock for some of these more popular secret lairs like this one, as long as there's still stock for people when they get through the line, even if the line is 2 hours, it's still better than nothing. It did kind of suck that I had to wait 2 hours, but I had, people have work, and so did I. And I had to, like, what am I supposed to do? Step away from work to complete the transaction because they only give you 10 minutes, and sometimes that's not possible. So that part was not cool. But I think we're getting through, moving towards a good direction. And then again, the non-foils will be available at the local game stores, which should also help with the supply and people being able to get access to at least the non-foils. So that's good. Yeah, so we'll just have to see going forward in the future. They'll probably continue to do things like this where they're going to limit the quantity to 2, and they're going to offer the non-foil versions to the local game stores. I think that's a good, it's not the best possible thing they could do, but it's better than what we've had in the past. And the other thing is the bundles, right? Like, so they seem to always have a bundle. So if you wanted a lot, not a ton, but if you wanted, let's say 6 of each of them, there, it's possible you can do that on one account, right? You order the bundle, which gives you kind of 2 of each because you get 1 foil, 1 non-foil, and then you can order the regular ones and you can get two more of those, and you can actually get like what, it's like 8, because they had the 100% bundle, then they had the foil bundle, the non-foil bundle, and then you could buy the individual one. So if you wanted to buy a lot, you could get, it's a lot. You could get two foil, then 2 of each of the foil, so that's 4, then the 100% bundle. So you could get 6 of each of the foil and 6 of each of the non-foil. I think my math, something like that. 6 of each on one account, even with the limit of 2. You just have to buy them all in bundles and do all of that. And of course, the bundles do sell out first. But I think it solves some of the problem, because the problem in the past was they were allowing people to buy 5 of each bundle, and so it would just go away so fast, right? I think this works. If they wanted to increase the amount that people can purchase for the individual secret lairs, I think that could go to like 3 maybe, and just keep the bundles limited. I think keeping the bundles limited is a good idea. It's unfortunate they're not giving as many discounts, but I get it. I guess, they don't have to give as many discounts. And then it also makes the bundles a little bit less desirable. So there it is. There you have it. I hope everyone was able to get what they wanted. Again, if you did not get the foil one, if you did not get the non-foil ones, they will be available at your local game stores. And so you'll see them popping up. You can go to the game store to get them, or you'll see them popping up online, or you'll see them on TCG Player when they are released. And I do expect the price of the non-foil ones to come back down at that time. All right, I'll see you. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you later.